History is full of incredible stories, but not all of them are true. In this video, we're diving into 5 of the biggest historical myths that people still believe today. From Napoleon's so-called short stature to the truth about Viking helmets, these falsehoods have been passed down for generations. Get ready to have your mind blown as we separate fact from fiction in history's biggest misconceptions. Poor Napoleon. The guy conquers half of Europe, becomes one of the greatest military minds in history. And what do people remember him for? Being short. But here's the truth. Napoleon wasn't actually that short. In reality, Napoleon was about 5 feet 7 inches tall, which was actually above average for a Frenchman in the early 1800s. The whole Napoleon was tiny thing, it's actually a mix-up between French and British measurements. The British used their system to claim he was 5 feet 2 inches, and the myth stuck. Also, let's be honest, if Napoleon really was short, do you think he'd be rocking that huge hat and power stance? The dude knew how to command attention. If I asked you to picture a Viking right now, you'd probably imagine a big, bearded warrior in a horned helmet, right? Yeah, well, Hollywood totally lied to you. There's zero evidence that real Vikings ever wore horned helmets. In fact, the only Viking helmets that archaeologists have found were simple, metal, and totally horn-free. So where did this myth come from? It turns out the horned helmet idea came from 19th century operas, where costume designers thought they looked cool on stage. And let's be real, if Vikings actually wore horns in battle, wouldn't their enemies just use them as handles to yank them around? Not exactly the best combat strategy. This is a big one. We've all heard that before Columbus set sail, everyone thought the Earth was flat, and he proved them wrong. The only problem, that's totally false. People have known the Earth was round since ancient Greece. As far back as 500 BC, thinkers like Pythagoras and Aristotle were already talking about a spherical Earth. Even medieval scholars in Columbus's time accepted this. Columbus didn't prove the Earth was round, he just miscalculated its size. Badly. He thought he could sail to Asia in a few weeks. Spoiler alert, he was off by thousands of miles. Lucky for him, there was a whole continent in the way. The Iron Maiden, one of the most terrifying torture devices in history. Spikes, a coffin-like chamber, and slow, painful death. Or at least, that's what we were told. The truth? Iron Maidens were never actually used. Historians now believe that the Iron Maiden was a 19th century hoax created to sensationalize medieval Europe's brutality. Most of them were built centuries after the Middle Ages, just for museum displays. So yeah, next time you see one in a museum, just know it's about as real as a haunted house at an amusement park. Okay, I don't know who started this myth, but Albert Einstein did not fail math. In fact, he was so good at math that by 15 he was already studying calculus. The myth comes from a misunderstanding of German grading systems. In Switzerland, a 6 was the highest grade. In Germany, it was the opposite. A 1 was the best. So when Einstein got a bunch of 1s, people wrongly assumed he failed. So yeah, if Einstein had actually failed math, I doubt he would have come up with the theory of relativity. Just a thought. So there you have it. 5 of history's biggest lies officially debunked. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more mind-blowing history facts.